The 15-Point Plan is part of the Win Make Give podcast network.
Welcome to the 15-Point Plan. Chad Himes here with my charitable friend, Jillene Snell. Jillene, how are you today?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I saw that little face when I used that one to describe you today. Jillene, we are talking about service, and charity is one of those things that falls under the category of service.
Yeah, I was actually driving into the office this morning, and I was thinking about it. I was thinking about what are the ways that right now in my life I'm giving back to my community and the people around me. And it hit me that I didn't feel like I was doing enough. And I also forgot we were recording this episode today on this topic. So it's good timing for me. And I hope everyone else on this call enjoys it as well.
So we might get some authentic thought out of Jillene as we go through this one, as we dive into service. Now, folks, we have talked about all of these things on the 15-Point Plan. We're just going a little bit deeper. And today we want to put in front of you, well, I'll let it get itself set up as we go. Let's go back before we go forward, Jillene. And on the original episode about service, about serve for the 15-Point Plan, we covered the benefits of serving others. That's obviously what we were there talking about. And Ben Kinney said, and I think it was you quoted him, and I'm not going to get it exactly right. Basically, Ben said, taking the time to serve others forces us to focus on them and forget the challenges we are facing for a while, which is a powerful way to rebuild some energy. What do you think about that statement that Ben has said? And I know that it has been something you've heard again and again and again.
You know, it's interesting. I'm sitting here reflecting and thinking that most of our occupations surround serving someone, the customer, whoever's paying for our product. We are always serving someone. And when we look at it as the ability to serve someone, in my industry, we're delivering the dream of homeownership. And of course, that's huge because it changes people's financial futures.
Yep.
And that in itself is a way to serve. So I could consider that every single day of my life, when I'm in the office, where I spend most of my time, that I am, or anyone in their industry that's serving, has the ability to do that on a day-to-day basis, and how that actually might take us away from some of the other life challenges that seem to follow us around that might cause unnecessary stress.
You know, it's fantastic, Jillene. I mean, I never even just thought about it as simply as that. I mean, doing our job, and I'm putting air quotes around that, doing our job, most people are serving someone, right? Literally a waiter, you are truly serving, right? Someone in customer service, yeah, you are helping them with that product. You're answering that phone call, whatever it is. You're selling them a house or whatever it might be. And yet serve is one of those things that so many people are so challenged to be able to say, I don't know what to do because I can't just donate all this time or all this money again and again and again.
Mm-hmm.
If you did your job purposefully, you'd be serving.
Have you ever been at a restaurant, Chad,
Ever?
and someone gave you such great service that it impacted you, like you remembered it for a period of time?
Sure. And I hope I was able to do that for people as when I was a server.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I never even, while we were putting this episode together and we've talked about that, I never even really just stopped and went, wait a minute. I'm always thinking about other ways to go purposefully serve, which is what we're going to help you with today. Yet, if I'm just doing my job, I might be. So, all right, we covered ways in the original episode, and you can always scroll back to the original service and the 15 points that we ran them through. We covered some ways people can serve. But in this episode, we really wanted to dive into, well, Jillene's preferred way to serve, right? As you listen to the episode, Jillene says one of her favorite ways to serve is ask people questions, right? So we are going to dive into some questions you can be asking that really will allow you to come from a service place before this episode is over, okay? I think it's interesting that of the 15 points, this is one that people find themselves very challenged with. Mm-hmm. They really do. I don't know why. I even asked in our Facebook group, 15-Point Plan for Life. So if you're out there and you're involved in the 15-Point Plan, you want some accountability, you want some help, join 15-Point Plan for Life on Facebook. I even asked in the group, what do you do for service, to get some feedback before today's recording? And Jillene, I got one person that answered.
Wow.
Only
Well, let's
one.
change that in this episode, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, only one person was able to really answer it and say, well, here's what I do. Because a lot of people just don't know how to serve because we've got
Yeah.
limited time that's out there. So
I got
let's
a text message this morning, Chad.
Yep.
And this is actually fairly rare. And I'm actually scrolling in my text messages as we talk right now. And I got a text message from a really good friend. And she simply said at 9:46 a.m. today, "How are you doing?"
Nice.
Like, how often does someone just text you and say, "How are you doing?" And that actually, it really made my day. Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
She served with that question. So
Excellent. All right, Jillene, let's just run through, I don't know, let's just run through some real basic, easy things. We covered some of them. Some of these are new. Give me something you could do to serve somebody that's simple, easy, takes almost no time.
I think you could hold a door open for someone whose hands are full, or maybe they have kids.
Okay. How about helping somebody and actually take their groceries to the car or help them load them out of the cart and into the trunk, if specifically if they're elderly?
Right.
Keep going. Give me another one. What's off the top of your head?
Best one, smile. A smile can change someone's day. It's like actions speak more than words, and that smile will be so meaningful.
Okay. How about purposefully say thank you and acknowledge what others have actually done for you and give them that thank you? You know, it drives me nuts when I use Alexa in my house. And if you're home and listening to this, maybe I just activated her for you. Sorry. Yeah, when I use Alexa and I ask her to like turn off the lights or something, I say thank you. And she doesn't respond.
That's
right?
good. Yeah.
Like I feel badly. It's like they should
Yeah.
program her to say, hey, you got it, right? Or something like that. All right.
Yeah,
So
and that's a form of encouragement, right? And how do you know someone needs encouragement, Chad?
because they're breathing.
They're breathing.
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
exactly.
All right. So, Jillene, how about this one? How about you donate things that are in your closet for over 12 months that you haven't worn?
Ooh, I'm good at that one.
Right. That'd be a great
Yeah.
way to serve other people. There's people out there who need it. Give me another one, Jillene, that comes to your mind.
Donate a book or give a book to a friend.
Yeah. Okay.
Stop clicking just like on Facebook
Yep.
or Instagram and take someone to coffee.
Yeah. I mean, how many times do we see somebody and we're like, oh, well, I'm going to give, Jillene a like on that or something. And when was the last time, honestly, Jillene, when was the last time you looked to see who liked it? Right?
Yeah.
That you actually clicked and said, well, who are the 42 people that liked this post? No, you don't pay attention to that, just the ones who comment, right? So
Sure.
how about stepping away from social media and actually getting coffee face to
Well,
face?
and our phones track your social media time. So if you imagine, like, some people might spend an hour a day or 30 minutes a day on Instagram, for example.
Oh my goodness.
Imagine if you could take the 30 minutes or the hour and say, well, I could have coffee with someone in that same period of time.
Yeah. All right. How about doing someone else in the family's chores? Like if somebody else's job is to empty the dishwasher, like my wife did for me today, that's my chore usually to empty it. She emptied it this morning. I came down from work to go get to it and it was done. It was like, think about
That
it.
is a definite act of service,
Yes.
according to the 5 love languages.
And that is one of her 5 love languages. Yes. And then listen, mowing lawns, right? Mow your neighbors while you're there. Or heck, if you live in the Pacific Northwest or some of the other northern states, how about just shoveling, right? Shovel someone else's walkway for them. All right. But Jillene, your favorite was?
Asking questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things that Jillene had talked about on the original one, and she's not going to pat herself on the back. So that also goes well with listening to people, which is such a great thing of service. How often do people not listen anymore, right? So look, I will randomly send a text or a direct message to someone and I'll ask them a question that provides them service, even though I'm not there to listen, right? Sometimes like I'll just poke someone. I'll say, what's up? Or I'll say, when was the last time you got on that Peloton, just to poke somebody and ask them that question to get their brain. I'm not there to have conversation. It's okay to ask the questions without it.
I've definitely received that text from you.
Yes, you have. Yet it is a wonderful opportunity to listen. So Jillene, I challenged you the other day. I came up with a few on my own. I just sent you, and I don't know if you even knew why I was doing it. I sent you a question. Said, Jillene, what are some of your favorite service questions? And I threw a few in there. Let's go through these, folks. That we're going to give you 7 questions. I don't know. We're on a 7 thing because on our last episode, we had a list of 7 questions. We're going to give you 7 questions right now that you could ask someone else that would be providing service. Jillene, give me one.
What are a few things you can do every day for you that bring you joy? And I actually, when I ask that question, I'll often ask someone to make a list. And sometimes it's an Apple Note, and Apple Notes can be shared. I love that because then I can see this list that they've created. And then I'm always able to pull it up and say, hey, did you do this today? Right? Did you listen to some music today? And it's usually relating to a hobby, right? And we've got an episode on that.
Okay. So, Jillene, what are a few things you can do for you that bring you joy? Give me a few.
Yeah. Okay. Well, working out's huge.
Yep, absolutely.
Reading, meditating, playing with my kids. Often shopping online brings me joy.
My gosh, you and my wife.
And then talking to a friend.
I don't know how many times Nita's got a shopping cart filled of things that if accidentally she ever hit order, I'd be in trouble. All right. How about this one? How are you? And what's your number one goal for today? And how could I help? Right? I mean, every day we all have goals, and we talk about goals. That's point one on the 15-point plan. Yet we all have daily goals as well. And wouldn't it be nice to ask people to serve someone just to say, hey, what is it? And what can I do about it? Okay. So that's a great one. Jillene, give me another question.
What are you excited about this week or this month or this year? Or it could be something like, do you have any travel planned for the rest of the year? A lot of people love to talk about a trip coming up. It's something that lights that spark within them, and you can literally see the physical change in their eyes and their body, and they start to light up when it's something that they're excited about. So find that spark by asking them, what are they excited about, or maybe where are they traveling to this year?
Yeah, it's a question I ask my daughter every week when we talk. I've always asked her that. I've always said, what are you most excited? What are you most looking forward to in the upcoming week? So that one, I would know what to ask her about when we talked again the next week. And she's learned to almost make sure there's something happening every week. So I'm serving her by encouraging her to be doing it. So she always knows the question's coming, and she can always say, well, I'm really looking forward to this, or I'm really looking forward to that, or I have this going on.
And
So
that
it's
takes us out of
powerful.
this mode of being like robotic. Like
Yeah.
humans aren't meant to be robotic. So when you ask them a question, it's like it's jarring in a good way because it takes them out of like this robotic motion in their lives and say, well, what am I excited about? And then again, like that's lighting their spark.
All right, Jillene. So we're recording this. I don't know when Dave will drop this in relation to it. So what is something though that you're looking forward to in the maybe near future, at least?
Oh gosh. I'm actually looking forward to a physical challenge that I have between now and my 40th birthday. I have a plan to get in the best shape of my life, and I'm excited about that because it's hard. And I know that that achievement is something that drives me. So that's huge for me. I'm excited about buying my next investment property and boating with my family this summer.
Sounds like I should be asking you a few more questions on that first one. Yeah, we'll save it for another episode or just some personal poking to see how I can help. Jillene, give me another question that we can ask as we're going through these 7 sample questions that you could just ask somebody to serve each day.
I'm going to ask you this question, Chad.
Okay.
What was the best thing that happened to you yesterday?
It's funny because at the end of every day, I didn't know you were going to ask this. At the end of every day, Nita and I say, what was the best part of the day? So it's easy for me. I just got to think back. What did I say last night?
Right.
The best thing that happened to me yesterday. And it's funny because yesterday it's a really small one. Nita and I, at the end of every night, and folks, it doesn't matter how healthy you are. Nita and I love a piece of chocolate at the end of each evening, and we work it into our plan. And right now we've got some truffles in the house or something, I think is what they are. And she always keeps the white chocolate one when they randomly get picked out of the bag. I get the milk chocolate. We'll both eat the dark chocolate, and we both like the really dark chocolate. Yet she manages to always keep the white chocolate. And I had made a comment about it sometime last week about, you know what? I didn't even know there was white chocolate in there. And last night she gave me one. So that was the best thing that happened to me yesterday.
Wow,
Is my
she
wife
loves
said,
you.
she does love me. And she said, here's one of the white chocolate ones. So it just brought on that feeling of love from such a stupid, simple little thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that lit up my whole day yesterday. And just talking about it again, you've changed my whole mood for the day. So
Oh, I love it.
you can see how this kind of stuff works, folks.
It does. Yeah. And the next one is, what are you doing for others?
Sure. Yep. It's a great question to be asking people,
Mhm.
right? Here's one that I love asking people all the time, right? And if you know me, you might have received this text, and it's, were you not living up to your own personal accountability? Right. I love asking people that. I just did it to a friend of both of ours just recently. And boy, she got herself back up onto that Peloton and started working out again, pushing herself. Is she at the level she could be? Not yet. And that's okay. She'll get where she's going. And it just came with a simple, so where are you on your accountability to your health? Right. And the last question, Jillene, question number 7, I think it's a powerful, powerful question in the world of service. And that would be,
How can I serve you? How can I help you? I don't know if people use the word serve as much,
no.
but how could I help? How could I support? How could I get behind you? How could I be in your corner?
Yeah. Great, great question to people. 95% of the time, your answer is going to be, I'm good, thanks. Yet they know you're there for them now. 5% of the time, someone will say, oh, I really need you to do this, or you're the best. And could you jump in and help with that?
Another way you could phrase it to get a different answer would be, in what way could I help you? And you can think of so many different ways to phrase that question, but I think it's an important question. I think people are going to appreciate it, and it's serving them just by asking the question, even if they don't ask for help.
All right. So I'm going to run these 7 questions real fast so you don't have to click rewind, because I have a challenge for you. So listen to which one jumps out at you and keep it. And you can reword them, of course. What are a few things you can do for you every day that bring you joy? How are you? What's your number one goal today? And how can I help you? What are you most excited about this week, month, year? What was the best thing that happened to you yesterday? What are you doing for others? Where are you not living up to your own personal accountability? And how can I serve you? Feel free to reword them. Pick one. And as you leave this episode of the 15-point plan, earn your serve checkbox today. Just text somebody. Scroll into your phone randomly. Just do the sweep up on your phone, wherever it stops. Pick that person, send them one of these text messages, and ask that question and provide some service to someone out there. Okay?
Chad, I'm smiling right now because I think about all of our episodes in this podcast. And so many of them, we ask for action. It's like, let's take action immediately. We're not waiting to make change. And the 15 points are so simple and so easy. It just requires doing, and it may take just a couple seconds, like you just gave us. It's not going to take more than 15 seconds to send a text message.
Correct.
Any one of us can do that.
Yes. Anybody. You don't have to be some superstar. You don't have to be some mega person. You don't have to have a huge circle. I don't care if you're texting the same people again and again and again. Anyone can do anything. You're absolutely right, Jillene. 15-point plan, they're all small little things. And as Ben had said, if you can get over that 12, you're going to feel the change in your happiness, your energy, and your health from moving along on all this. On behalf of Jillene and myself, join us on Facebook in the Win, Make, Give Facebook group. And then, of course, we've got the 15-point plan for life Facebook group. We are there for both of them. Make sure you share this episode with somebody. Maybe that's the way you can provide service. Until our next episode, we hope this one ups your energy, and we'll speak to you soon.